So the past few days, as you would imagine, Avatar's been gaining a lot of traction because of, activists as well as activist organizations for in, indigenous groups pretty much calling the film out as to not being what it's not representing, or it's being or having a lot of misinformation in the film compared to actual real life indigenous tribes. And so we're going to hop into this article right away, titled being Indigenous Activist Organizations Encourage Fans to Boycott Avatar The Way of Water. So the article starts out as this: the highly anticipated film, which premiered in theaters on December 16th, is facing criticism from a revived social media campaign that initially arose over the first Avatar film in 2009. Again, this being over 13 years ago, finally being revived because of the new film. The controversy was once again ignited this week after anti-Indigenous comments made in past interviews by the film's director James Cameron resurfaced. Article continues. So Ye Begay, a Navajo artist and co-chair of Indigenous Pride Los Angeles, took to Twitter over the weekend to condemn Cameron's film and encourage would-be moviegoers to avoid seeing it, which has already grossed $300 million internationally, and it still continues to make money. As of this point, the film has crossed $500 million. So this lady, I went over her a few days ago. She's the one that's got a pretty big resume. As you can see right here, she got a pretty chunky resume. So she's pretty much just calling the film out, saying that the way that they show the information is in a harmful manner and such, which isn't the case, as we'll see right now. That James Cameron actually took inspiration from real-world indigenous tribes and somewhat replicated it into a fictional film to show the struggles that actual real-life indigenous tribes faced throughout history. So the article continues. A 2010 story from The Guardian discussed Cameron's opposition to the Belo Monte hydroelectric dam in the Amazon, which has caused thousands of people to be displaced. In the article, he explained that his time with the Amazon tribes prompted him to think about the history of indigenous people in North America, which ended up inspiring the script for Avatar. So pretty much James Cameron's inspiration came from somewhere in Brazil. The government wanted to create a dam which would ultimately destroy many parts of the forest as well as displace these indigenous tribes. And so he would wanted to he just wanted to show people in film form, because that's what he's good at, to show how us humans affect other humans. And so, in quotes, is what James Cameron said: I felt like I was 130 years back in time watching what the Lakota Sioux might have been saying at a point when they were being pushed and they were being killed and they were being asked to displace and they were being given compensation because of all the things that they've been through. He also said that while admitting this was a driving force for me in the writing of Avatar, which makes sense because in the films it's showing these alien people, but in their case there's some sort of indigenous group facing hardships from other human beings by them wanting to either destroy where they live in order to gain resources or to be able to colonize the whole planet and pretty much just get rid of them, which is also historically accurate as we've seen in the real world with all the things that's happened in the past with Columbus coming to America and so on. In quotes, James also said, I couldn't help but think that if the Lakota Sioux tribe had had a time window and they could see the future and they could see their kids committing suicide at the highest suicide rates in the nation because they were hopeless and they were a dead-end society, which is what is happening now, they would have fought a lot harder. And this we can also see in the films, even in the first one, second one, that when humans first came, they were trying to be peaceful, but once things started going south, the Na'vi and other tribes would pretty much fight back. But article continues. But indigenous activists and social media protesters are now calling out Cameron for likening the story of the sci-fi film to that of the Lakota Sioux, despite there being no actual representation of the tribe in the film. Additionally, none of the cast members are indigenous people, which Begay calls a form of racist caricature known as blueface. So these people first want the actors to be diverse, not just be white. Then they actually now want the characters to be represented or acted by actual real life indigenous groups. Thing is, an actor is someone who knows how to act. That is their job. You don't take a plumber, a McDonald's worker, and just take them from that job and put them into acting because they don't know how to do that. That's not how this works. Got me a little, my blood boiling a little. Article continues. Blueface was coined after the 2009 film after Cameron was accused of favoring non-indigenous folks to play Na'vi, an alien race based on many indigenous cultures that he appropriated from. According to BK's post, the term refers to a character who appropriates many non-white cultures, blends them together indiscriminately or blatantly, and has white people play or voice them using fiction as a medium to necessitate and validate their world building. Again, these people just don't know how to quit it. If it's just the same thing over and over again, it's always about the white man card, but I've even showed you the cast a few vids ago about them actually being a diverse group of individuals, not just being all white. I mean, now apparently they just want actual indigenous group members to actually represent and act as these characters. Anyways, let me know what your thoughts and what you guys think of this, as well as please stick around and subscribe. And I hope you all have a very beautiful day. Peace out. Bye bye.